So
Thank you.
next we're going to have Maria Sakalaki, who is a dedicated medical professional, and she has a wonderful, diverse background. She's a specialist in internal medicine in cardiology. She has a Ph.D. in the field of ischemic heart disease. And she was recently a research visitor at Stanford University, where I actually had the honor to see her at the Nordic Innovation House and at Stanford School of Medicine. And Maria was involved in a very exciting study with Apple Heart. So Maria, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Viveka. I will start sharing my presentation. It's always the toughest part. There it is. Do you see it now?
Yes, we see it.
Perfect. Sorry. Okay, we'll start with this screen. Okay. Thank you so much, Viveka, and thank you so much for the invitation. I'm here today to speak about healthcare and maybe the challenges we have in healthcare, where I believe AI has an important role. And of course, as you said, Viveka, I'm also going to speak a little bit about my exciting trip. And that shows a little bit how we can collaborate and how we can learn from each other. And hopefully I will inspire more to do the same thing. You introduced me, Viveka, and also want to add that I'm also a member of the Innovation and Technology Group at Sahlgrenska University Hospital that I will speak more about soon. First of all, Sahlgrenska University Hospital and my home city, Gothenburg. I need to present that first, of course. Gothenburg is a wonderful city. It's in the southwest of Sweden, as you can see. And we are famous for our delicious seafood, our beautiful cliffs instead of sandy beaches. And as you can see, we are on the right coast side, so we can almost look away and see Washington on the other end, which makes it also easier to build transatlantic bridges, of course. So I hope that we will have many of those. Sahlgrenska University Hospital is the biggest one in Sweden with 7,000 employees. And it consists of 3 hospitals, Sahlgrenska, Mölndal, and Östra, and I work in the last one. And the different hospitals specialize in different areas. And for example, at Östra, we have pediatrics and infection medicine. But I work, as I said, in the cardiology department, which we have all over. So my trip into the innovative world started with this education, Innovation and Technology Residence Program at Sahlgrenska University Hospital in 2019. And this was the first hospital having this kind of education in the whole of Sweden. So it was very exciting to be part of it and be in the first group, of course. And the purpose was to educate medical doctors in this field, in these 2 fields, and help us take on the challenges that we will have in the future and learn more. So we were 9 medical doctors that learned about the innovation process, technology in collaboration with the Chalmers Technology, the University of Technology here in Gothenburg, and of course we learned about AI. And it was during this time that the idea of a innovation and research trip started. So I will tell you more about that soon. The groups are now many. Many have done this education, and it also including other professions that only medical doctors, which I think is great. So we are creating a forum to continue discussing about our challenges and finding solutions, and most importantly, supporting each other in this process. So which are the challenges that we will have within healthcare? As you might know, there is an increasing population worldwide and also, of course, in Sweden. And this will increase the amount of elderly and the amount of persons with chronic diseases as diabetes mellitus, obesity, which are increasing, but also heart failure, which is a serious disease, and also ischemic heart disease, that is, persons with a heart attack. We also know that we are limited. The persons working in healthcare will not be enough to take care of these elderly and ill. So to illustrate this, and I'm so sorry for this picture being in Swedish, but I will explain it. It's from 2019, and it shows how the population will change and be divided in different age groups in 10 years. So as you can see, the age group 20 to 64, and this is the working population, soon to be 67, will be 5%, while it's predicted that 47% will be of the age of 80 and above. It is also predicted that in 2050 it will be 18% more inhabitants and twice as many persons being of the age of 80 plus. So now we know that 5% of the working population works within healthcare, and in year 2050 we will need to recruit 30% to work within healthcare to be able to take care of all the persons that will need help within our business, so to speak. But it is a little bit optimistic, of course, to expect that all of these 30% of all these students here will be interested and will work in healthcare, of course. So we need to think about other solutions. One of the most important is, of course, life science, and life science is very big in Sweden. It accounts for about 10% of Sweden's export. And the government has identified some areas that are putting a little bit more focus on them and investing a little bit more, as for example, developing the infrastructure within research and health data. And as you know, health data is becoming more and more important. And in Sweden, questionnaires show that the Swedish population are happy to share health data in order to do research or development. So that's great. Another area is, of course, to create conditions and predictability for the business world, which is very important. And most importantly for me, from my perspective, we need to reach from research and innovation to implementation in healthcare. And at this point, my experience is that this process goes a little bit too slow. Of course, it is a progress, so that's great. So why AI? I believe AI has a very important role in healthcare, and these are some of my perspectives, and I know that we will be discussing a little bit more later. But for example, AI in healthcare. Last week I was at a conference within cardiovascular diseases. So it was about 1,400 persons from this field, nurses, medical doctors, physiotherapists, all of them, discussing new research. And we also had a seminar about AI. And I was the moderator, not being an expert in the field at all, but it was very interesting to participate. And I received all these questions, and I recognized them from questions that I have received also from my colleagues. Many were wondering, for example, the ethics: who will be responsible if something wrong happens with the patient? How can we trust AI and it gives us the best results? These are some criticism that we often hear and that we need to discuss. I usually divide AI in healthcare into clusters. We can have the administrative part and also the pure medical part, for example, doing diagnostics. Of course, it's a work in progress, but I believe that we have so much work to do just in the administrative part. For example, writing medical records for and about the patient, or extracting information and data for our well-known and good registers here in Sweden. So for me, the most important thing right now is that healthcare professions are part of this process and the discussions as experts in in medical care, and most importantly also inviting the patients that in this discussion, because they will be affected. Another important organization in Sweden is, of course, the Swedish Agency for Innovation and Systems, Vinnova. And Vinnova administers state funding for research and development. And its mission is defined by the government to promote development and efficient and innovative Swedish systems within different areas, for example, communication, technology, etc. So I received a funding for a staff exchange for applied AI, automation, and data sharing. And this resulted, as Viveka said, in a project at Stanford University. So what it is that I went to Stanford Medicine and was part of the Apple Heart Study team. And the Apple Heart Study is a huge study that is in collaboration with Stanford Medicine and Apple, the company. And it was performed digitally only, inviting individuals that had a smartphone, an Apple Watch, of course, and everyone could participate. So they had to answer questionnaires. Data was collected from the smartwatches as pulse and rhythms. And some of the persons had also to do an e-patch. That is an e-patch is an ECG. To be able to compare results in the smartwatch and, of course, on a real ECG. During my time at the Apple Heart Study team, I was also participating in the machine learning team, and learned that there is a lot of projects and many universities also in the US collaborate, sharing data or ideas to improve together. And of course, I participated as much as I could in the AMI Center seminars. AMI standing for Stanford Artificial Intelligence Medicine and Imaging Center. So that was very exciting, and I was very impressed by the work that the AMI Center does. And the project was only during 2 weeks, so it was very short. I went to the US with my small family, my partner and my son, and we lived in a cozy guest house in Menlo Park, only a 10 minutes walk to my working place. And my working place was the Center of Academic Medicine, as you see here in the picture. And I was working there on the research project and as I said, listening and participating in seminars, but also trying to visit events and the Nordic Innovation House frequently, especially when it was about AI. The weeks passed fast. I met amazing people and also a lot of Swedes, actually. That was surprising. There are many Swedes living in the US. And the results of this trip and this collaboration is that we are not right now working on a manuscript that is a research project, and we're trying to see how persons wearing an Apple Watch, how they react on receiving a notification, for example, of arrhythmia or a high or low pulse, and also how they are met and treated from the healthcare personnel. Exciting work. I was also lucky because during my visit in Stanford, there was a Swedish delegation coming to the Stanford University. So of course we met and with my supervisor, and we started also another project with smartwatches and AI, teaming up with the West Coast, where we will see how we can predict arrhythmias in persons with heart disease. So the next steps, I'm very excited for this collaboration, and I believe that it will only be more. I believe that AI is part of the future, And it's interesting to see how we doctors react on it right now, but I think it will be implemented more and more. I think it's just a matter of time, and also we need to discuss the ethics and the rules, of course. I'm right now searching for funding and more ideas, so please, if you have any, you are welcome to contact me through this QR code at LinkedIn or email or wherever. Thank you so much for my talk. Here we have my email. I put it there. Good.
Thank you, Maria. This was wonderful. My mom has AFib, so anything with
yeah.
just
That works too. That works too.
It's quite something. So anyway, thank you
Yeah.
so much for your talk, and I look forward to seeing you again, both in Gothenburg for Vitalis conference and also on the Stanford campus. So we will continue collaboration. Thank you so much, Maria.
Thank you.
See you again for the dynamic panel discussion afterwards.